A pleasant day to everybody. So for today's video, we will be discussing about the basic sampling techniques that we are using when we are conducting a research, especially for the beginners. Why do we need to study this? Firstly, because in order for us researchers and especially for beginners to identify what kind of sampling technique they are using or they will be using in the future when they are gathering the respondents. Okay, yung iba kasi hindi nila alam what kind of technique they used. Pangalawa, during their defense, kapag tinanong ng mga panelists, what kind of technique, sampling technique you used, hindi sila makasagot. Diba? Kasi yung iba, basta lang nanguha ng respondents kung sino-sino. So, lalo na kapag nagra-rush yung mga students natin. So, what are the basic sampling techniques that we commonly used? We have simple, systematic, stratified, and cluster. We also want to explain the convenience and the voluntary response. Ito kasi kalimitan yung ginagawa natin na researchers, which I can say na biased. Kaya dapat nating iwasan. Okay? These techniques can be categorized into two. We have the biased and unbiased sample. When we say bias from the word itself, some members of the population are more likely to be included, but not everybody. Iilan lamang ang may chance to be part of the research which is biased. Okay? When we say unbiased naman, ito naman yung all members have equal chance to be included. That is, to be fair. Lahat ng respondents, lahat ng population, lahat ng members ng population have the chance to be part, to be included in your research. And of course, in a biased sample, gumagamit ka talaga ng method. A sample drawn and recorded by a standardized method. Okay. Under biased, we have convenient sampling. From the word convenient, sila na mismo yung nangunguha ng kanilang respondents who are convenient and readily available. Yan yung ginagawa natin minsan. O ikaw na maging respondents, ikaw na, ganito, ganyan. Kasi ikaw yung mas malapit, ikaw yung available. Diba? Ikaw yung pwedeng maging respondents. Which is unfair. Okay? Pangalawa, we have voluntary sampling. When we say from the word voluntary, which mean volunteer. Those respondents who want to be part of the research ay nagbo-volunteer na para maging part ng research mo. Nagbo-volunteer. Voluntary sampling, which is also unfair. Okay? Ito dapat yung mga sundan nating techniques. We have 4. Number 1, we have simple random sampling. This is the simplest sampling technique, also known as latter technique method. Paano ito ginagawa? Kunin mo yung list ng lahat ng members or population mo, lahat. Halimbawa, lahat ng grade 10 or lahat ng nag-aaral sa inyong school. Then afterwards, lagyan mo sila ng number each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Kung ilan sila lahat. Then, ang gagawin mo, since it's a latter technique method, pwede kang mag-cut ng strips into kung ilan yung population, then bubunutin mo kung sino ang magiging respondents mo. For instance, kailangan mo ng 50 respondents or 100 respondents. Bubunot ka ng mga number, then sino yung katapat na number no na pangalan, siya yung magiging respondent mo hanggang makuha mo lahat hanggang mag-gather mo lahat ng 100 respondents mo. Para fair. Okay? That is simple random sampling. Ikalawa, we have systematic random sampling. From the word systematic, there is an interval. There's a system to be followed. Drawing units at irregular intervals from a list. Sabi ng interval, ito yung pagitan. Population are selected according to a random starting point but with a fixed periodic interval. Halimbawa, ang interval ka 5. Then bibilang ka ng count ka ng 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then yung pang-5, siya yung magiging respondent mo una. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, siya yung next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ayan, hanggang makabuo ka kung ilan yung kailangan mo na mag-gather mong respondents. Determining your interval, ito yung this is the formula. Hindi ikaw yung basta-basta magdi-decide na lang. Lahat yang in terms of research, everything should be standardized. Kailangan lahat may sinusunod tayo. Okay? Population over the sample size wanted. Halimbawa, 200 population, then ang kailangan mo ay 50 na respondents. Then 200 divided by 50, therefore it will give 4. Sabihin yung interval may 4. Sabihin kada 4. Nagawa ng iba, saan ka pwede mag-start? Halimbawa, mayroon kang 200 list of names. Ano gagawin mo? Then, pwede kang yung iba nagda-dice. Then, dinetermine nila kung saan yung starting point nila. Halimbawa, starting point nila nangyari ay 21. Then, start sila ng 21. Kung sino yung 21, bibilang sila ng apat-apat. Katulad nito, 1, 20 ba? 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, apat. Kada apat. Okay? Hanggang makumpleto mo yung kailangan mong respondents. That is systematic. Okay? Tandaan po natin that is systematic. May interval. Next, stratified random sampling. Ito yung kalimitang ginagamit ng mga estudyante natin without knowing that it is stratified. Yung iba naman, sinasabi lang stratified but they cannot defend their answer. It involves the division of a population into smaller subgroups known as strata. For instance, sa isang school, igugrupo mo sila. That is what we call strata. Ngayon, paano mo sila igugrupo? According to what? Ano yung magiging basehan mo? Pwede maging basehan mo yung age, gender, yung grade nila, hobby nila, maraming factor. So, paano ginagawa yan? In a population, for instance, ang kailangan mong respondents ay for 50 respondents. Ngayon, igugrupo mo sila per grade. Grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10. Paano mo ma-identify? Anong gagawin mo para maging fair, maging balance? Yung iba kasi, basta ginagawa nila, tiga-10 ang kunin natin. Meron din tayong sinusunod na formula kung ilan ba yung exact na population or respondents na kailangan maging part ng research mo para maging valid and reliable yung research mo. Hindi basta-basta na, 10 na lang, 5 na lang. Hindi ganon. So these are the steps in performing stratified random. Number 1, you need to identify your population. Number 2, you need to group your population into one varied characteristic. Halimbawa, you want to group them according to your age, gender, barangay, hobby, and etc. Number 3, in order to choose your respondents per subgroup, you can perform the simple random technique. Halimbawa, you need 40 respondents out of 40. Meron kang 4 na subgroups. In each group, there are 20 members, pero kailangan mo lang ng 10. So, who will be your respondents? Ikaw ba ang pipili as the researcher? No. To be fair, you need to perform the simple random technique to choose who will be part of your research study. Okay? Another information, ang tawag dito sa lahat ng grupo, strata, that is plural form. Then, kapag individual group, tawag sa kanila ay stratum. Okay? Singular. Cluster sampling. When we say cluster sampling naman, compare dun sa stratified random sampling, in a small population lang siya ginagamit. Ang cluster naman is oftenly used for a large populations or large geographic area. Halimbawa sa cities, yan yung ginagamit natin. Obtained by dividing the population into subgroups called clusters. So, paano ba ginagawa yan? Compared din sa stratified, may population din siya, of course, sa population natin. Then, i-divide mo din siya into subgroups called clusters. You might be wondering, ano yung pinagkaiba ng stratified sa cluster? So, unang-una, stratified, subgroups have similar characteristics. Yung mga ginrupo mo sila according to characteristics. Halimbawa, gender. Divide mo sila according to their gender. Sa cluster naman, different characteristics. Sa stratified, smaller population, ginagamit sa smaller population. Sa cluster naman, used in a larger population. So, paano yan? Let's have Skittles, for example, yung nips sa atin, di ba? Ang nips, nag-contain ng different colors. Halimbawa, yan yung population natin. Sa stratified, igugrupo mo siya according sa iisang factor na gamitin mo. Halimbawa, factor ay age. Gugrupo mo siya according to their age. Igugrupo mo yung 16 to 17, magkakasama. Yan, lahat ng 18 to 19. Therefore, ang factor mo dun is the age. Para-pares ang characteristic, which is the age. Okay? Dito naman sa cluster, hindi mo kailangang buksan yung Skittles para mag-grupo mo sila. No. Sa cluster, since mas maraming population nila, halimbawa, cluster 1, cluster 2, yung bawat school. Halimbawa, i-represent natin yung bawat Skittle na yan sa school. Ito yung school 1, school 2, school 3, school 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Then, ang gagawin, bubunot ka dyan kung sino yung magiging respondents mong school as a whole. That is cluster as a whole. Halimbawa, nabunot mo si number 1, number 6, and number 9. Then, si number 1, lahat ng nasa loob ni number 1, lahat ng population si number 1 ay magiging respondents mo. Lahat ng population designed with number 6 magiging respondents mo. Ganun din sa number 9, lahat sila. Hindi mo na sila kailangang hiwa-hiwalayin tulad ni stratified according to their characteristic. Okay? Kasi sa cluster, sa isang grupo, iba't iba ang characteristics. Pwedeng magkakasama dun ang bata, matanda, di ba? May kapansanan, kung ano pa. Samantalang sa stratified, igugrupo mo sila according to a certain characteristic. Okay? So that's it. That's the difference between stratified and cluster. For the next video, we will be discussing about kung ilan ba yung appropriate number size, sample size na kailangan natin kunin sa isang population para maging valid and reliable yung research natin. Okay? Meron tayong formula na sinusunod na ang tawag doon ay Slobin's formula. Okay? For the next video, that will be our topic. Okay, that's it.